What's happening? What's happening, Mr. Dom?
Good morning, buddy. Good morning.
We're here. We're making it. It's Friday. We're making it happen. Did you walk early or did you walk late? Are you going? What are you doing?
Yeah, just finished 3 miles this morning. A little quick one.
Everybody, Dom is an idol. You gotta take.
My feet are starting to hurt. My feet are starting to hurt, man.
You know what? My feet with my shoes were starting to hurt for a sec. But then I knew I was a man and I stopped complaining. I was kidding. I gave myself a little foot massage there and worked out. But no, it's I wear did you get new shoes?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, probably wasn't the goodest idea to put them on for the first time and then do 3 miles, but you know, we learn even at 40.
Yes, some people would say that wasn't the best idea, but you got out there regardless. I'm a big fan of the Vivo Barefoots, and they're like look at that. We're all hopping in so efficiently.
Oh, this is great.
What's up, buddy?
It all worked. It all happened. You learn something new every single day.
You did it, Billy's.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Perfect. I can hear you perfect.
Oh, that's great.
All right. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Want to start some gratitude?
Let's do it.
Yeah, buddy. I got mine right here, locked and loaded.
Start us off, Dom.
So first off, grateful for my cousin. She and I got into a little thing back in April or May, and we haven't spoken since. And she was like one of my best friends, and she took the first step and called me yesterday, and we had a good first conversation back at it. So, that was a special moment yesterday morning.
That's awesome.
Also stoked for new shoes. Thank you, Robbie, for the reco. And I'm coming out of this sickness. This morning was the best I've felt so far. So I'm coming out of it. So that's where I'm at.
Does a lot of your family live really close?
No, none of them. They all live in Arizona.
Oh, got it. Well, that's not that far away. That's like
No.
That's the difference between I feel like Pennsylvania and New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, New York for us, right?
Yeah.
Is my geography wildly off?
6 hours.
Oh yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty close.
Yeah, not too bad.
That's great, man. How did your cousin break into the conversation?
I mean, we knew it was coming, so it was just part of a like we need to talk this out, or are we just never going to talk again?
Nice.
Like she told me she was getting to that point where she was starting to, reassess her relationships with people and her time, and whether or not she was going to write people off, forever, or like try to reestablish. So I think I fell in the reestablish category. So pretty thankful for that.
That's awesome. Do you think she was the right person to start that conversation again, or was it something that you were planning to do yourself?
Yeah, I was planning on it. In fact, I had thought about it that very morning. So it was like kind of like a, random thing that she called, like that we were kind of like thinking of each other in the same grain, around the same time. So that's why I picked up the call, because I was like, oh my God, what a coincidence. But yeah, it's something I've been thinking about for a while. Just, life gets in the way, man. And like we both said, like the months go by faster than we think they do when she's got a family and kids and husband and all that stuff. So new schools, all that stuff. So it just gets busy, man.
Definitely does. Well, nice, man. Congratulations on that. I feel like it's so nice to hear people kind of like dropping either a grudge or kind of getting reconnected that way. That's it's great. I'm sure it feels good for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Blaze, what's going on with gratitude?
I have gratitude. I just want to say, like, it's such an interesting concept that I'm thinking about it now. Like, we're always blossoming in a different direction based on water and sun. Obviously, I went to yoga today, and I'm just about like, the relationships that I have, and what are some that I want to feed more into, and what are some that might be on the fringe or the cusp, or even like the root of something that's not vibing with me, and what to do with that. So what a great gratitude from Dom to get my brain thinking this morning. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Gratitude for today. I'm just thankful. I think I said this a couple days ago, for the steps challenge, because I love looking at life through a different lens or a different perspective. And now that I'm focused on getting 10,000 plus steps a day, it just has me thinking in all these different ways. Like, I'm going to walk to get coffee. I'm going to walk to the mailbox. I'm not going to bring all the garbage cans back at once. I'm going to do one at a time. And the funny story this morning was I had to charge my watch and I wasn't carrying my phone. I didn't have my watch. So I'm like, what's the point of walking right now if I'm not tracking it? So that was my kind of gratitude and just kind of like funny perspective I had this morning.
Yeah, I feel like those wearables always get me. I used to have that thought all the time when I would wear a Fitbit, and then it was the only Fitbit I had. It was the only Fitbit I ever wore, and it made me nervous that I would think that way, and I always got worried that I wouldn't be doing what I need to, and I stopped wearing wearables for that reason. Do you think that? Well, what did you do when you realized you were going? Did you not walk, or did you continue? What happened?
I decided that I wasn't going to let that cripple my morning, because I could have just stood there and watched my watch charge, but like I had to shower, and I had some wardrobe issues this morning, and trying to find like the kids some diapers and stuff like that. So
well, good, man. I'm glad. I think that it's that it makes you feel good, doesn't it? Doesn't it make you feel good to go and actually like walk, even though you don't have the steps counted, or no? Do you not feel that?
I don't think I was like leaning like one way towards the other. I thought it was a funny thought that even like came across my mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, so you did go on the walk. You know that if you're in Apple, in the health app, you can just add something. Like you can manually add data.
Oh, now everyone's gonna cheat. Thanks a lot, Tom.
I mean, honor system people, come on! Like, I gave you guys those 2 points yesterday, so
We got
let's do the honor system. Nath was our first sub.
Nate.
Shout out Nath.
It's our first sub ever. Thank you.
Amazing. You know what's hard? I don't think that if I'm in StreamYard, I'm able to see any of that stuff. So, Nate, I see you. I see you doing that. Thank you so much. If you don't know, through StreamYard over here, which is how a lot of us can communicate, you can actually hop onto X and communicate. We can all see you too. Good morning, Brofit. We did activate subs, which is something that can definitely support us, make sure that we are continuing to show up every morning and bring on more content. And so we'd love for you guys, if you are feeling it, to really join us and come along for the ride as we are getting into morning 1:15. That's pretty exciting. 1:15. That's good. So congratulations to all of us, really. I am able to, I'm slowly working my way back up, just as we're building out, DailyDads and VDads and stuff like that. I'm grateful right now. My sister-in-law and my wife coordinated getting a desktop Mac, so I can now do things I need to. I just realized though that I needed to take her. I told her, I was like, thank you for this. I'm just gonna reset all this to factory settings, just so you know. And she was like, yeah, it's really cool. Then I realized that there's like no memory or RAM on this, and that's not something I ever knew kind of how to handle. So I actually had to order some more RAM. So I'm going through the process of learning how to get into a computer and add RAM. I think for Apples it's really easy, so we'll see. But anyway, if this computer breaks down, it's completely my fault. That's what's gonna happen. But so.
That's hilarious.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, how are we feeling about the reading today? The meditation. Blaze is already in meditation mode.
I loved it. I try to be a curious critic, remain curious, and so when my kids are curious, I think I always have to dial myself back a little bit, because I'm like, oh, you like Pokemon? We got to get the cards. We got to get a shirt. We got to learn about all of them. There's 1,000 Pokemon. We got to learn about all the Pokemon. So really looking for those. My kids are curious. Like my son was like really into space, and then he was really into dinosaurs, and I'm always thinking like, we got to go to the library and get a book, which I think is good things. But always thinking about when they have that interest or that curiosity, it's so easy to squash it like a bug and be like, no, we have to go to the cross. No, it's time to go to school. No, we have to do this. And so really trying to take that deep breath and lean into that curiosity when they have it.
You're always a great dad with that. I feel like you always are really curious. You always ask great questions.
Where are you at with it?
Oh no, Dom. Can you go?
Yeah,
let me know about how everything was. I feel like I'm clicking around right now.
No, that's fine. I left you hanging there on accident. That was my bad. I was doing the same thing. Yeah, I mean, this is the whole month is this, right? Like diving into your kids' curiosity, like investing in them. I was on the DJ Kaufman stream for a minute there on my walk, and I just asked him, I'm like, hey, my daughter's, back into drawing. Like, is there someone that you recommend that she look at on YouTube or, whatever? I didn't mean to insult him in any way, like saying like I wouldn't have her look into him. But yeah, someone, who was it? Jonathan Ashbrook recommended an Irish comic drawer. So I screenshotted that. I'll look him up. But she did she's been doing this thing. It's really cool. Like there's like an app on her phone that shows her the trace outline of an image, and then it looks through her camera and she can see her hand, and she can it like projects it. Does that make sense? Like, and she can trace it even though there's nothing on there. I don't know, it's really weird. I'm gonna try to get her to do it and do a little video so I can show you guys, but she's really good at it. And I'm just hoping that gives her more uh, um, confidence in her drawing.
That's awesome.
So dive into that. Show her Blaze comic original.
If you find the name of the app, let me know. I'd love to play with it with my daughter.
Yeah, I'll ask her about it.
I think tracing is one of the incredibly underutilized creative mediums, maybe. I know for me, did you guys grow up with like tracing books? Like there were books that you could end up getting, and it would be a big book and it would be different fonts, and then there would be like something for science or something. And so you would be able to kind of trace it and create your own thing, but you would if you wanted to create a sentence or a bolded, title on top of a handwritten, creative kind of thing, you could go to the page and it would have, all of the letters in that font, but then you'd have to kind of move your page and then you would trace over it. It was my favorite thing to do. I remember I would create, a lot of science projects like with that. And it was the one thing that gave me the most confidence in terms of like then moving on to like drawing myself. Now my brother, Jason, is an artist really. But it was definitely something that I really appreciated, and I always loved doing that because it was like I can be creative even if I don't have like the steady hand or even the thought. It's like, okay, the book can give me a little bit of a bump in creativity, but I always loved tracing. Tracing was one of my favorite things to do as a kid.
I'm trying to picture what you're talking about. What I'm thinking about is there's these tracing coloring books that had like tracing paper in between pages. Is it kind of like that, or was yours books more like stencils?
They were. I'm trying to see if I can find one right now because I want to show you. But they were the best. They were like these. Here, hold on. Stay right there. Because I think that because we're talking about curiosity right now, and I think that it could be a way to help kids, even like with their handwriting and all that kind of stuff too. But let's see if we can do this here. If we do, it's not going to work, is it? Let's do this. Can you guys see that? You guys can see that, right? Yeah. So like these are the kind of things that I would end up using. I loved using these. These were like one of my favorite things. So like this kind of stuff right here, like it wasn't the calligraphy that I was always using. I don't even know what this is. I'm not going to go here. But I would like use these books, and then like you could find different fonts, and then you would trace it, and then there'd be pictures and stuff like that too. I always loved these things. They were the best because it could teach you like graffiti, or it would teach you different fonts that you could kind of write. But I always loved these. I mean, there's like the simple stuff like kids, I guess young kids using these, but like you could buy a book of like these fonts, and then you can make your own like hand drawn type of projects. I always thought that was the coolest thing.
I love that.
So anyway, if you guys ever think of using it, it's there. But yeah, I think the curiosity thing. I've been definitely trying to kind of lean into curiosity so much more. And I think with my kids, I have to be more open because I know that both of my kids are going to be so different. And my oldest is someone who is extremely, it's like Friends drives her world. And so I have to stay as curious as I can because it's not exactly like the thing that I want to do, like seek out friends to go let them guide me. And she likes that. I almost have like a negative thinking. I'm like, no, you guide yourself. Know what you want. You do your own thing. But it's how she just really shows up to the world. And so when I think about her and her development, I have to be more open in terms of like, okay, her friends will be a lot more part of what her identity is than I would maybe expect or maybe want her to be in some kind of cases. But that's what I was taking away from the idea of just anything and curiosity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I don't think there's anything wrong with being someone's number two though, or someone's number three, or like I like to think of you as the leader here, bud. But I know you would say that you feel that I'm an important role here too, and I'm your support, man. So
man, sometimes taking the leadership role is sometimes a tough one. Speaking of leadership, we know Blaze is running the step challenge like a champion right now. Do you guys, come on, this is it. I need to know. What are we doing with the logo? What are we doing with the character? Who's going to represent Team Green?
You know, what's funny is like we had a whole conversation back and forth about this in our Team Green chat, like the couple of first days. But then we just decided that our steps would just destroy you guys.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man, I just played around.
If Robbie was here, Robbie would say, "Come on, guys, lead with love. Come on."
Yeah, exactly. That's what we decided to do.
That's good.
I mean, right after you, what was it? You framed me and Blaze for hitting someone with a car. Who got hit with a car? Was it Brofit?
No, it was Ron.
Ron.
Oh yeah.
Ron Jordan. A little image of me and Blaze in a car.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, so first of all, the step challenge, part of my Daily Dads, has been really fun. Ron hopped in one day and said that he got hit by a car going across a crosswalk, and I took it upon myself to blame both Blaze and Dom for it, and so I sent them an image of them hitting Ron Jordan with their car, because that's just how it is.
Just bring it back to the chat for a second. David was asking favorite walking shoes. I don't have a favorite walking shoe, so now I feel like I need to get a walking shoe if I want to continue walking and not like kill my feet. We were talking about intelligent curiosity, which I need to look into. Good morning, Brofit. David, check your X DMs because I added you to the Steps chat on Twitter X. If you want to jump in there. If anyone has Prime, you get a free sub. You get one free sub a month. Oh, you get a free sub a month on Twitch through Amazon. How cool is that? And that's all I got. So
Nice.
Skechers, man.
I want to throw Brofit back up here. Brofit down in Arizona. Good morning. And not hanging out this morning because I'm in a great mental health space at the moment. So I'm going to get back to that, but wanted to stop in to you guys. So I love the idea. I know that, we're here every morning, and I was always thinking about this, like, what is that feeling? Like, what are we doing for everyone? What are we doing for ourselves? But I feel like, people want to show up, especially on social media, this huge message and just kind of like change someone's world, but it's never easy to always do it that way. And I love that it's just these like smaller conversations. So Brofit even, just popping in and saying that, and, maybe even listening to us on the other side of it, I think is so great. So thanks, Brofit, for saying that. Thanks for coming back in. Blaze, are you wearing Skechers?
No, I have my V-Friends Reeboks on today. I don't even own a pair of Skechers, but I did have a really cool pair of like Skechers. Like, I couldn't get Doc Martens growing up, so I ended up getting these like fake Doc Martens that looked like they were Skechers, but they were like boots. I think that's the only Skechers I ever had. But my daughter wears Skechers. I feel like Skechers is remarketed over the past couple of years, and I think they're a lot more popular than they used to be. I don't even think there's a Skechers basketball shoe now. I need to check to see who it's through. But those are my winding thoughts. I don't think I'm going to buy Skechers, but if Nath thinks I'm a Skechers guy, maybe I need to lean into that a little bit. I'm
gonna give my 2 cents. I'm putting it on the couch right now. I don't know if you can click that. I don't know if you can click that right there. But Vivo Barefoot is my favorite shoe whatsoever. I've always liked a barefoot shoe. And Vivo Barefoot has been like the one that I've totally just given myself to, whether it's, hiking boots or walking shoes. I love them. So they're good for the gym, good for everything. Check them out.
I'll have to check them out. I broke my arch running a half marathon 10 years ago, and so I have to be really cautious. I need good arch support.
This is I would always love to have this talk, because I always hear that there's the arch support, meaning you broke your arch. I guess that's different. but I always hear that using walking shoes that give too much support is like putting a cast around your foot. Now, I don't want to sell anyone on this idea. This is just what this is like more of like an influencer based kind of thing. But I've always heard that like using that shoe is more of a way to weaken the muscles in your foot. So using a shoe that is less structured and less padded can help the muscles in your calf and the muscles in your foot actually become a little bit stronger, and then it really helps everything out. So that's what I've always heard. I'm curious if Robbie ever heard that too. I know he's just in the walking world a ton, but that was always my thought.
Interesting.
But a broken arch, my good, did that hurt?
So when I ran the half marathon, I was training in Nike Pegasus, what I really liked. But then I got some of those Vibram, like no heel drop, almost barefoot shoes. It wasn't the toes, but they're still like considered barefoot running.
Yeah.
And I didn't train in them enough. I did like 2 runs with them and then did the half marathon in them. And I remember the last like 2 miles, like my feet were like dead. I wanted to cut my left foot off. And ever since then, I've had really bad like plantar fasciitis. And so I constantly need to be reminding myself I need to stretch. The thing that saved me from that, though, was A, Dr. Scholl's foot inserts, and then B, squatting. I don't know if it's true or not, but I just feel like, and I need to get back into it, but having all that weight on my shoulders, I felt really stretched my foot out and brought me like a better place with my feet health.
Nice. Shout out to I think our buddy Josh is starting a squat-tober. So maybe it's a time to get your feet a little bit stronger if that's going to work. I don't really know that whole dynamic though in terms of strengthening feet. I feel like it's something I wouldn't want to cross into and say something wrong. But you gotta do you. And I see David is starting to try some of these barefoot shoes too. So I guess David's usually barefoot regardless in warmer weather anyway. I got to be honest. This last time I'll say the Vivo Barefoots. I love Vivo Barefoots. They've been the most comfortable shoe I've ever found. So that's where I'm at.
Craig's feeding into the no exercise November.
That one made me laugh. Good one, Craig.
Jason has, yeah.
Ankles are the strongest part of my body, not the calves, huh?
Apparently our family is known for big calves. I just don't have big calves, but my brothers do. I don't know what happened to me.
You're the runt of the calf family.
You didn't get the calf gene?
I don't know. I don't understand why, but like my younger brother has like huge calves, and then Jason has huge calves. I just don't. So, hey, Dom, are you about to take a shot? Is that a ginger shot?
Yeah, buddy. Super boost.
Super boost. Show it to us. What do we? Oh, hold on. Gotta move you back over here. All right, take it. Tell us how it goes.
I mean, it's black pepper, dude. So I know what it's gonna taste like. It's just gonna taste like a fucking mouthful of black pepper.
This is it. This is you becoming superhuman right now. Isn't this like how they made Captain America?
This super serum
on that one.
Yeah, right. Isn't that what it is?
Hey, this one was really good. No black pepper actually.
Oh, there you go.
No heat on this one.
What is it? Show it, sir. What's the brand again? Let's take a look at it.
Soul tea.
Okay, got it. Now the reason why I would be totally backing this if it was something crappy, I know I had it up. I'm like playing around with this computer a bunch, but I had some research up on why the ginger shots end up really helping with immunity, and it really has to do with how it affects the your esophagus and the mucosal lining and everything. So I thought it was really interesting. I'm gonna keep it up. I'm gonna see if it helps me be less sick throughout. But from a nurse's standpoint, do you feel do you think it's smart, Blaze?
Taking ginger shots?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not educated enough to give like a professional thing, but what you do make me think about is how underutilized nutrition is in the hospital setting. I think they're good about like. I just think about like TPN and lipids and how like, oh yeah, you need some kind of nutrition. But then I think about like a lot of the hospital meals I've seen across the like 5, 6, 7, 8 different hospitals that I've worked in my life. And it's like, if they really wanted nutrition to be a priority, I think that they would like focus on that a lot more. Cause I've just seen some of these like horrendous hospital meals. And and I get it from the same perspective. Like if you're trying to provide meals 3 times a day for 800, 900, 1,500 people, like that can be difficult. So you have me thinking a lot about like nutrition science, and maybe ginger shots should be stocked on the floor instead of. And if you think about it, a lot of floors have soda on the floor. So like you're serving people soda, but they can't get a ginger shot. I don't know. Going off tangent, but that's where you took me.
Well, my brain is running. When I was working clinically, I remember how crazy food service was, because you have different floors and you have different health status of people who wouldn't even eat the food. I remember ordering a lot of Boost all the time, especially for people who weren't able to eat or weren't able to chew. We just had to get their protein up. Like it's a crazy world, and I definitely get both sides of it, of like the clinical side and then wanting to make food service good. But just to end on a positive note, because I think this could kind of keep going into a larger conversation, but making sure that we can understand that overall that there's just like an acute need in a hospital for certain things. And, we're not going into a restaurant setting, but there are a lot of places a lot of hospitals, and Blaze, I think you must know this, is that a lot of hospitals are trying to follow a lot of the hospitality type of models. So creating food service around hospitality, creating the different, the food items around hospitality and stuff too. So really interesting thing. I'd love to, dive into that even in the conversation one time, but I know we're at time anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, but let's leave it there. Any last thoughts, guys? Dom, any last thoughts?
No, not really.
All right.
My daughter just scared the crap out of me when she walked out here, but I was trying to mute myself, but accidentally muted Blaze, but all good.
I was wondering why I got muted. I'm like, am I breathing heavy in the mic?
Oh, do you? No, I didn't know we could do that. Okay.
No.
Cool.
I would just say stay curious and lean into your kids' curiosities.
Man, Blaze, you always have a good ending message. Better than I can ever think of.
Well, I hosted huddles for like years, and so it's always like you always want like a good closing note, You
need it. I'm going to close too. Just want to say, Nate, thanks so much. The sub thing is just new for us, and I think that it can definitely open up some doors for us to continue being creative and bringing on great content and people. So thank you so much for that, and we'll keep talking about all that too. So thanks.
All right. May your cups or your mugs stay filled with coffee and your hearts with gratitude, everybody.
See you later. Have a good weekend.